Hey guys, Troubletcat here recording for the Zombie Arcade, playing some more Medal of Honor Warfighter. This was a really fucking badass game, I'm not gonna lie. My team was losing for most of the match, but I was able to flank around behind, take the enemy's back point away from them in this game of sector control, which allowed the rest of my team to move up and sort of secure the area. And basically, I am the hero of my team and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, and I will take absolutely 100% of the credit for the victory in this game. Anyway, how much of a badass I am isn't what I actually wanted to talk about in this video. What I wanted to talk about was, this game's actually pretty good. I actually, not only am I having a moderate degree of fun with it, but I think there's actually a lot to like about this game in general, and it's been frustrating for me because this game's been getting a lot of negative press. A lot of people have been saying, you know, that they didn't, well, a lot of people have just been talking shit about this game, basically, and it's been getting, well, I mean, it's been getting mixed reviews. Some of them sort of giving it scores that seem kind of reasonable, and some of them, like IGN's review gave it a 4 out of 10, which is way lower than what this game actually deserves. Even if, you know, you don't particularly like the game, it's not that bad by any means. There are a few really glaring issues with the game. The biggest one being, this game is buggy as all fuck. I mean, holy shit, the glitches and bugs are really, it's bad. I can't believe, I mean, this actually, people who said BF3 felt like a beta release on release. This game, I would say that, this is, just how buggy this game is shouldn't really be acceptable for like an actual release game. But Danger Close are working on it. There've been a couple server-side patches already. There was a day one client patch. I'm fairly hopeful and confident that they'll fix up these bugs that are the one thing that really does bring this game down. I mean, aside from that, you know, the graphics, they've actually grown on me a bit. It's not like the prettiest game I've ever seen, but, you know, it'll do, and stuff like that. Like, the PC version could be better. It feels a bit like a console port at times, but the only really glaring problem I have with this game is the bugs. And aside from that, I think the reason a lot of people are hating on this game so much is, to be honest, that they're mad because bad. I don't know. I can't really put it nicely, which is what I'd be inclined to do, because you guys know I'm a nice guy, right? I mean, maybe I'll lose my shit and kill everybody, but I'm a nice guy. And I think a lot of people are just getting really frustrated with this game and, you know, saying the game's bullshit and stuff like that, because they don't understand how you actually, like, what you actually have to do in this game to be successful, and then they try to play it like Call of Duty or like Battlefield 3, neither of which works, because this game does require its own playstyle. It's definitely its own thing, and then, you know, they get fucking mad when trying to play it like other military shooter X doesn't quite work. And what I've found is, for example, a lot of people on the forums posting and saying like, oh man, it takes me like fucking 3 clips to kill somebody, but I always die in half a second. And just to explain that briefly, from what I can tell, in this game, headshots are actually incredibly important. And aside from that, I think people miss a lot. And then, you know, say, oh man, I was hitting him when actually they weren't, because, I mean, the hit markers can be kind of hard, I don't know. But, headshots in this game are really important. If you're feeling like, yeah, it takes me really fucking long to kill everybody and then I die in one shot, probably you were hitting them in the legs, body, or arms, and they shot you in the head, and therefore you died really fucking fast. It's just kind of what happens in this game. You need to, I've found anyway, you really need to use cover in this game. I'm trying to give some advice here, I guess, for people who are having problems with the game and with doing reasonably well. I mean, I'm not like the super pro dude in this game. I've played against people who are better than me, but to be honest, not a whole lot of them. And that's not me claiming to be good or anything, because I know, like, I'm not some amazing super pro gamer. I'm not claiming that. I really can't believe I didn't fucking, because that guy showed up on the radar and everything. Just as I was saying, I'm not the super pro guy, but a lot of people in this game seem to be really fucking bad. And I think the biggest problem, aside from the fact that people don't quite get the weapons handling yet, don't quite get, you know, what you actually need to do to kill somebody, which is not necessarily to aim at their head, but you do need to be accurate. I don't know, I think a lot of people just have poor accuracy. I'm not sure. Spray a little bit too much, maybe. Aside from that, what I've noticed is that using cover in this game is incredibly important. I almost think of this game as like playing it like a cover shooter. Like you got to sprint from cover to cover. You have to use the lean feature. There, for example, I would have been a lot better off not trying to shoot, because you're really, really inaccurate if you shoot while walking in this game, while moving at all. I tend to find that if you're in the open, like I was there, and somebody engages you, in a lot of games what you want to do is return fire and just kind of hope you kill them faster. In this game, what I find is you have to run to cover and then try and use the cover to like sort of lean around and shot them, because if you stand in the open and they shoot first, you're almost certainly going to die unless their aim is really fucking bad. I don't know. As I said, I almost think of this game as being a cover shooter, even though it doesn't actually have a cover system in some ways. And if you don't want to, I mean, you can go fast in this game. If you play the Spec Ops class in particular, where you have the signal scan ability that allows you to see enemies through walls for a split second kind of thing, with that class you can definitely run around, but if you want to do that, you have to take a lot of advantage of the movement options in the game. You have to be using your grenades, you have to be using your signal scan, you have to be using that slide ability that kind of throws people off, like if you, because when you're sprinting in this game and you go into a crouch, you sort of slide around on your knees. And you can do that coming around a corner. It tends to really surprise people, and then you can blow them apart. There's a few different playstyles that work, but what I have found works for me is this sort of cover-heavy, sort of slow, tactical style. And as I said, you can run and gun, but that, again, that requires quite a lot of tactics of its own, and it's a different sort of... I just think this game is different from what a lot of people are used to, and they're having a hard time adjusting to it. And it's making them basically say the game is shit when it's not. It actually... It's not perfect, as I said. There's a fuckload of bugs, but I find a lot to like about this game. I'd have to say, I don't know how much longevity it'll have. You know, there's only 8 maps right now, which isn't a whole lot. There are a lot of game modes, which is good, which helps, but there are only 8 maps, which isn't very many. And... the skill ceiling, I'd actually say that I feel like the skill ceiling in this game is significantly higher than Call of Duty, and maybe even a little bit higher than BF3, at least if you don't take vehicles into account in terms of infantry gameplay, because of all the movement options in this game, and because of the importance of headshots, and because a lot of the guns have a little bit more recoil than weapons in BF3. I feel like there's a little bit more to playing this game successfully, and so, I mean, the skill ceiling being high on a game helps it have some longevity. It's one of the reasons Counter-Strike, for example, is still so alive, is because it stays challenging for so long. I don't know if this game's skill ceiling, I mean, it's not super high, though. You know, nowhere near CS levels. I don't know if it's high enough to give the game, you know, that huge amount of longevity where people are still going to be playing this, or at least a lot of people in a year's time. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game. You know, this game might only last you a couple of months, but it'll be an enjoyable couple of months. I'm having fun with it so far. I'm really, really liking the... I like that it actually requires different tactics, and I was kind of mad that I didn't kill that guy. But, to be clear, I think in that situation, a lot of people would have said, yeah, I shot the guy like 50 times, I didn't kill him, then he hit me once and I died. But what happened there, if you noticed... my recoil brought me off target. I missed him with a lot of those shots. That was me aiming poorly. I couldn't quite see him because he was in the shadows. He had a better position. And then he hit me in the head with his MP7, and it was fucking all over for me. He outplayed me. He had a better position. He aimed better, and I fucking died. It wasn't something where the game, like, slighted me and caused bullshit to force me to die when I thought I wasn't going to die. I was not as proficient at the video game in that particular engagement as my opponent, and therefore I lost, and that's how video games work. Well, they should work anyway. So, if you want to know my sort of final opinion on this game, and I've played this for about 15 hours now, multiplayer, so I think I've had enough time to form an opinion that's probably not going to change a whole lot, is that I freely admit I don't know how long this game's going to last. I don't believe it'll last as long as BF3, because it doesn't have as much variety. But I do think it's a good game, and it's getting a much worse rap than it deserves. I think that once the bugs are sorted out, if the bugs are fixed, this is a game that would be up there in terms of quality with any other recent military modern shooter. This is a good game. And if you like military shooters, then and you have the money, and you're willing to accept the fact that it might only last you a few months of enjoyment, then yeah, I think there's no good reason not to get this game. It's not bad. It's getting too bad of a rap. Wish people wouldn't be such haters. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, Troubletcat. Not as mad as he could be, but still kind of mad.